idea. After the night I had last night, I am beyond happy. I had to go out to dinner with my family, and as bad as a normal dinner out with the Manson family is, it was worse because we had to celebrate for my little sister. She made the varsity team in lacrosse as a sophomore. No, screw her. This is not a set. When she writes a set and comes here, you clap for her. Now it's my time. And we had to go out, and her favorite restaurant is in Newburgh. And if you guys are familiar with Newburgh, you know, but if you're not, it's the type of town where you go to town, and when you get in, you lock your doors, and you take the safety off the guns, because apparently when you get to town, they give you a gun. And we're sitting there talking. I'm a little bit of a fuck up, as you can tell. I'm on stage bitching about my problems. And she's like the good kid, so my parents are just, you know, praising her left and right about, Kristen, you did such a good job. Oh my God. We got you an ice cream cake, and we got you the cross-stick you tried for you. And I'm sitting there like a dumbass, like, I got a comedy show, you guys gonna come? My mother looks over, Matthew. Don't ruin tonight with your jokes. Bullshit going on, and I'm staring out the window trying to forget my problems, and I see these two thugs standing in the parking lot, and they're dressed in full red, they got tattoos, the bandanas are going on, it's ridiculous. And one of them's like 25, and the other one had to be 13, it was really weird. And the 25-year-old has his arm around the younger one, and he looks really pleased, he looks really happy, and I'm like, they're having the same goddamn conversation they're having with my sister right now. And I can just imagine the older guy be like, dude, you did such a good job. You sold a whole kilo by yourself. Dude, we got you an ice cream cake. We got you a gap and stride. Like, come on. And we got you a hooker back at the crib. It's gonna be a good night. And you know what? There's a silver lining in every situation. Everybody always feels bad. Oh, those poor kids in the ghetto, they're in gangs. Have you ever seen Gangland where there's just girls half naked around all the place? When I was 13, I had no hope of getting a pussy. I had myself and an imagination. Go ahead. I stared out the window for hours like, neighbor girl, come over. It never worked for me. It never happened. And you know what? I recently figured out why I have such problems with girls. And one of the main reasons is I'm a nice guy. It really is that simple. I'm a nice guy. And I think back to all the times I left parties with vomit on my clothes that wasn't even mine. Or just carrying drunk girls upstairs to the bedroom and leaving them there with my pants still on. And it's either that situation or I'm sitting downstairs for 3 hours talking to the drunk girl in the slim hope of her blowing me in the bathroom. And it's always the same conversation, am I right? You know, like, Jessica called me a whore? She fucked that lady, who's the whore now? You're Greg, right? Yeah. And it always ends the same way. Some dude with like a six-pack walks by and he says the most ridiculous shit and gets her to come. Damn, baby, that's a fucked up haircut. And she's just like, wait, what about my haircut? And I'm stuck holding the purse, like, come on. It's big. And then there's that next day conversation of like, oh, you're feeling better. I'm glad to see, you know, you're not throwing up anymore in my hands. And she looks at me, she's like, oh, you're Greg, right? You held my purse while I fucked John in the bathroom. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I have to go. My mother, you're not good looking. I have to go. I'm sorry. And that maybe is why I fell into a pattern of dating the freakiest, weirdest girls in the world. Because they're the only girls left who really appreciate a nice guy. Because a nice guy, when they sleep with a freaky girl, we untie them at the end of the night. We don't just leave them chained to the radiator and hope they later ask questions. It's not that great though. They're weird. It's not that great. But honestly, there's some pros to having freaky ex-girlfriends, because like if you, sir, saw a girl outside your house at 3 a.m. holding an axe and screaming, you'd be freaked out calling the cops. I could just look over and be like, Amy, go home. Wasn't funny the first 3 times. But I'm running out of freaky girls. It's not fun anymore. Because you can only sneak into the mental institution so many times before they realize people are missing. Hey, you seen Jessica from B4? Oh no, the janitor was in here with a body bag. We don't have janitors! It's really bad, so I had to start going out with nice girls again, and it's not as fun because I don't know how to read signals anymore for these girls. With a freaky girl, it's pretty easy. She starts grabbing you under the table, you're like, I think she likes me. But the nice girl, you're sitting there, she's like, I like your shirt. Thanks, I got it cold. Thank you, well, that doesn't help me. Your hair looks good tonight. Are you gonna fuck me or what? Tell me the truth right now. And as much as I'd like to believe I do know what's going on, it's really like I'm playing lottery scratch-offs at the gas station for a girlfriend. Just, come on! Come on, girlfriend! Okay, we got I love you like a brother. Not that one. Okay, here we go. Come on, I feel lucky. Lesbian. Okay, I lied to myself. Love you more. Last one. Come on! Restraining order. Okay, I'm done with this game. It's not okay. And I think one of my major problems why I'm not good with girls is because I have no confidence. And I have no confidence because I was a fat loser in my neighborhood. I think that sums it up. I really was. And it's weird because in my neighborhood we broke it up who played with who. And we had at one end of the neighborhood, we had like the richer kids with the more the money, and they like get to go to Disney World every year and have a good time. And then we had in the center of the neighborhood, we had like the okay kids who got to go once or twice to Disney World. And then me and my friends who got to play at the sewage treatment plant. It was awesome. We all had pet rats. We used to race them and stuff. Until Johnny swallowed that gulp of water from the lake and threw a third on, we had to stop going. But as a kid, my life's ambition was just to go on a roller coaster at Disney. That's all I ever wanted to do. And I was talking to my mother. I was like, Mom, what are you doing? Roller coaster so bad. Please. And you know, she's a child from Brooklyn who grew up, you know, playing rat baseball. It's ridiculous. So she's kind of like confused on spending money to go on a roller coaster. So she's like, Matthew, why don't you describe a roller coaster to me? We'll see what we can do for you. But go up really far and fall really fast. And she's like, oh, I can fix this easily. We have 2 stories and bed sheets. Have a ball. You go ahead. And you know, the thing is, like, that's how we broke it up in my neighborhood. That's how we did it, it's whatever. But I wanted to know, if that's how we did it, how do other kids in different places do it? I'm not talking like 2 neighborhoods over. I'm talking like in like Bangladesh. How are kids playing with each other? Who's by who? It has to be by who works at what factory. That's the only explanation. And if it's the case, you know that Nike kids are the assholes who are rich, walking around the desert in Air Force Ones. You know, just... My buddy, you can't afford Air Force One. Do you see the red stitch? That is where I sew my finger to the shoe. You can't afford this bitch. And again, a silver lining. Everybody feels bad for those kids, but you know what? Those kids have got the best friendships in the world, I can guarantee you that. Because as a kid, when you got hurt or in trouble, whatever, your friends were there. They picked you up and they're like, yo, it's going to be all right, man. It's going to be okay. You are not going to tell me that after an 18-hour workday, you and Hari are fucking picking through the finger bucket, trying to find each other's thumbs.